So we are going to see some of the advanced ECG topics. We will start with this interesting lecture which is called ECG as Poorman's coronary angiogram, especially in acute coronary syndrome. So first of all, you must know what is the difference between a coronary angiogram and an electrocardiogram. Coronary angiogram is a luminogram. It gives you the lumen of a big epicardial coronary artery, whereas the ECG gives you ultimate myocardial perfusion. It tells you whether the myocardial cells are receiving the blood or not. For example, if you imagine a river and the river is supplying the plant through the big canals and small pathways, ultimately the plant gets water. Coronary angiogram tells you that the river is normal, but ECG tells you whether the plant is getting water or not. That is, the myocardial cell, be it a big artery, small artery, or a capillary or arteriole, wherever the block is, if the cell is not getting the blood supply, ECG will show abnormality. That's why some of the times the patient may have typical angina or a positive treadmill test, even he can have myocardial infarction, but the coronary angiogram may be completely normal. The problem may not be in the coronary arteries. As I told you yesterday, as I told you in the vascular system, the obstruction may be in the microcirculatory system. So that's why the ECG gives you very ultimate information about the blood supply to the cardiac muscle cell. The additional information you can get from the electrocardiogram apart from the coronary angiogram is the myocardial viability. The ECG tells you whether the myocardium is viable or not. So the coronary angiogram tells you there is a coronary obstruction, and the ECG alone tells you whether the myocardium supplied by this obstructed artery is healthy or scarred. If the myocardium supplied by this obstructed artery is going to be scarred, there is no point in revascularizing this particular obstruction. So that crucial information is given by the electrocardiogram. And the electrocardiogram also gives you some indirect information about the myocardial function. So these are three informations you must get from electrocardiogram, namely the perfusion, viability and function. So the ECG changes of coronary heart disease are divided into ischemia, injury and infarction. Ischemia affects the T wave. Injury, the most important segment of electrocardiogram is ST segment. Injury is always due to acute coronary syndrome. So acute coronary syndromes are going to be manifested in either ST segment elevation or ST segment depression. Then the infarction, a permanent necrosis of the myocardium, going to result in pathological Q wave and the loss of R wave.